welcome back to RaBBois. Well, today we're Rab because you never have the sign proper ever in any video. Hope you guys are doing amazing. We're doing amazing. I think we're doing amazing. I mean, I haven't spoken to you since like the last episode, and honestly, it's very rude of me to assume how you might be feeling. But
no, things are great. I move my setup, and I always try to get the sign, but never gonna work.
Yeah, I forgot to mention, Yitz is in a different area right now. He's looking a little green. You were looking even more green before, but
It's
you
olive.
switched it up.
It's olive, and it's very beautiful. Apparently,
You like being olive? Oh, now you're more tan than me. It switched.
It says in our Megillah, it says in the Megillah in Purim, which we read on a holiday, that Queen Esther had olive skin and made her very beautiful.
Wasn't she Persian? Are you Persian?
I don't think so.
Huh?
I mean, we are rumored. I am rumored to not be related to you.
No, you're Persian, like I'm Danish, right? Like that's that's how it splits up. But the holiday of Shavous is coming up. Shavuot, is that how did they say it? In the Jewish world, there's always like two different ways of saying something, and it depends on the religious crowd. In Hebrew, it'd be Shavuot. To people that aren't religious, it'd also be Shavuot. But to religious people, it'd be Shavuos.
I don't think they came up with one of those fake English names for this holiday yet.
What are you talking about? Oh,
like,
you mean like
Passover?
Uh-huh.
I guess Sukkot. That's
what do we like? Hanukkah, Shavuos, Shavuot. You know, it's the Hebrew accent. That's what it is. But yeah, when is it? When next week is Shavuos?
Is it Wednesday, Thursday?
I don't freaking know. I'm not coming home, by the way.
Yeah, it's Wednesday, Thursday. I know you're not. It's a shame because we're having family come in, and you don't care about family.
I love family. Family's great. Big family guy. Maybe that's where family. No, maybe that's where it came from. The show, but I decided that it was not. I was putting like the value side by side of remaining in Florida or going to Ohio, and the value of Florida, which is consistently much higher. Although I do love family, and I'll be honest, I don't know how I'm going to have any meals during the holiday, but yeah, we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out.
It makes it hard. On the holidays, it's hard to have meals if you don't have a structured like family because you could cook, but you have to leave things on before. There's always there's a whole like freaking pie chart and like process of elimination where it's like, which burner on the stove are we leaving on, and are we going to leave the oven on, and at what temperature? It's always a whole because you don't want to leave stuff on.
Mainly because like during holidays, like you're allowed to leave the fire on to like reheat stuff, but you can't start the fire. A whole lot of like Jewish crap that low key doesn't make sense, but it's great and it's amazing and we love that and we respect it. It does make sense. I mean, it's very.
Of course it does. Of course
it makes sense.
On the Sabbath, on Shabbos, we can't cook anything. We just can't cook. Nothing can be on, but on certain holidays, you could have it on. So I'm not sure what you're going to... It makes it hard. It basically makes it hard to eat unless you're just going to have like lettuce all day. Lettuce and tomatoes. Yeah. Or like cold food. Or you can have cold chicken. You can have cold chicken.
I'm not eating cold chicken. We should probably... What?
Well, yeah. Well, you did take your chicken, you put it in the sun, and I hope you don't get sick.
Is there actually an issue? Yeah, so for those that... I posted on my family chat before. I forgot to defrost my chicken last night, so I put it in the sun for like an hour, the Florida heat, because I thought it would go quick, and it did. And I'll be honest, there was like a slight smell, I think. No, is there like actually an issue with that? Is it gonna get?
Well, the issue is if you have like meat that's out for a long time, but you think it's frozen, but really part of it's not frozen because that part was hitting the Florida sun.
No, it was an hour. It was an hour, and it was still like cold when I touched it. Although the bottom part was less cold. Was more cold.
Whatever. It's only been an hour. Like, I'm not gonna like.
I know. I mean, I ate the batch so far, so I guess I'll let you know like late tonight at like 3 a.m. or something. But we should probably explain what the holiday of Shavuos is, though. Basically, it was when our boy Moses, right? He Mount Sinai went up to Mount Sinai. Took many days, and this was the day that he reached the top and received the Torah from God. Allegedly, he did that, and it was pretty epic, and it's a thing, and then like he like threw it on the ground once he went back down, right? Because apparently we were worshiping a golden calf or something.
I know they couldn't wait one more day.
Yeah, they couldn't wait one more day. Jews love worshiping.
Jews are very impatient. Very, very impatient. It's like,
No, we are.
he
It's
said
true.
40 days. It's been 40 days. I don't believe it. I'm done. And like that's like classic.
Yeah.
Like so impatient.
That's the story. And it happened on Mount Sinai. Wasn't there a thing that like they? So basically, we don't know where Mount Sinai is, where that mountain was.
Well,
but
think they do.
allegedly, I'm getting. That's what it's. This is how you segue, and I was doing it perfectly, and you ruined whatever. Allegedly, they were able to figure out which mountain Mount Sinai was, because there was a bunch of mountains like in that area of wherever the hell it is, somewhere down there.
I think they think it's in Lebanon.
Lebanon?
They used to say that it was in like Egypt or it was in the Sinai desert, because obviously Sinai desert. I don't know. This is kind of what people thought.
Yeah,
and they thought it was like a mountain. Basically, if you look at a map of the area, there's like a C. It makes a V shape. So they thought that they crossed over here, and that made sense because you're coming from Egypt. You're coming this way. I'm not sure how it looks on the screen. Whatever. If you look at
the
map,
audio listeners are gonna love this a lot, actually. So
whatever. It looks like when you come from Egypt up, there's the Red Sea. So they think that they crossed there, but it turns out they might have actually crossed on the other side at a different river, which is it's like the same thing, it's just a V shape. And
it's
then
mainly sorry. No, continue.
So they found on the other side, on the other part of this river or sea, I guess, that there was a spot that looked exactly like how it would look like if a lot of people were crossing. They found evidence of like artifacts.
This is what I was getting to. Yeah. So in that video, right? I think you sent me the video a while back.
Yeah.
But basically, there's many like signs and things there that correlated with what it says in Torah about the mountain. One was there's a bunch of wells there, right?
Yeah. So
a bunch of wells
I'm
and a bunch
getting
of.
to that.
What? That's about. What do you think I was doing?
Well, first they crossed the sea and they found evidence of like chariots and like coral-shaped wheels in the sea. And then if you follow like direct path,
nice.
direct path, you come across 12 palm trees, 12 wells, each for one of the tribes.
And it's exactly 12 and the wells, like, and they're just there in the middle of nowhere, in like a desert. It's very weird.
It is very weird. It's like 12 old wells. And which it says in Torah in the Bible that that they went there and there was
12 wells, 12 palm trees, exactly. Yeah.
And then if you continue, there's this huge mountain which the top looks burnt because the thunder and lightning.
Yes.
And they have it gated off, and the people apparently the local people say.
I saw. Yeah.
And everyone says this is the
local people. Sinai. Yeah, they call it some other word, but like I think they call it Moses Mountain or something.
Yes.
Moses Mountain. And like the family that's been there for like generations, like they say, that's the mountain. Also, apparently, there's like drawings of the golden calf, like on the walls, like in that area, like very old drawings or something. Like someone was there like 100 years ago. Like these guys are idiots, drawing on the thing. They're gonna think it was there. They're gonna think it was there. But
So that holiday is coming up. We eat a lot of cheesecake. We're supposed to eat a lot of dairy because.
Why do we eat dairy on Shavous? Yeah.
Oh, there's a few reasons, and it's slipping my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what was the main one?
Inspirational.
I think it's because it has to do with like milk. They compare the Torah, the Bible, to milk and honey.
Milk, okay.
I think so. It's like that.
It's
and
sweet or something.
I don't know.
No, that's Rosh Hashanah. That's Jewish New Year.
Well, they do. No, sorry. Milk and honey is the land of Israel, but I think about the Bible is also compared to milk. There's another reason too, because they slept in. Is that one? No, that's why we stay up all night. We stay up all night on the first night, because apparently,
allegedly,
when the Jews were about to receive the Torah from God, who's going to talk to them, they're like, maybe we should go to sleep first, and they slept in. So they say the reason they slept in is because they assumed that they would have a dream about it because they weren't holy enough to actually witness it, but it was a mistake. So to rectify it, apparently we have to stay up all night now and be exhausted for 2 days.
And learn Torah and amazing things.
Yeah, we say, we basically say we say portions of the Bible and portions of different sections. We learn the Talmud, not the part that they tell us that they says those things. We just
the satanic part? No, we could talk about it, huh?
Actually, no, we don't say Talmud.
It's not satanic. That's the propaganda. That's what they're trying to,
But we do a lot of.
Now, where's my money?
Stay up all night. We have milk. There's another reason for milk. It's really bothering me because I know there's another reason.
Wow, we call ourselves RaBBois, and we don't. We call ourselves Rab. So today we don't know anything, but yeah. So every single yeshiva, Jewish high school, the way they do it in high school, like when you're younger, you just go to synagogue or whatever, and you learn if your parents let you. But once you're in high school, it's like an official thing. It's like a part of the class where like after the prayer and after like the main meal, everyone just goes to like the study hall, the base medrash, and you sit there till like 3 a.m. learning this condensed. It's literally like a summarized version of like every part of Torah, and it's an excuse, and we call it learning. And usually you read it for a half hour, and then you talk about whatever for 4 hours. At least that's what I did.
Yeah, you're just like everyone's like, we're gonna do this. This is really holy, and then they bring out like the coffee and the snacks, and then everyone's like, yeah, let's just talk for a little bit. We'll get back to it in a minute. And
every hour and a half or something, they would bring new snacks, and the rabbis would say, learn the thing, and it was BS. All the rabbis, all the teachers would go to one table, and they just speak with each other the whole time, and like it's full on like hypocrites. And then when I got older, I started joining that table. Once I left, once I graduated.
It's very much like, oh, whoopsies, look at the time. It's 4 a.m. We have to stay up to like 4 or 5 a.m. Not all the way to like it's super light. And it's like, whoa, would you look at the time? It's 4 a.m. Whoops, I forgot to do this. And you go, time to go to sleep.
Yeah, exactly. And then no, is there a reason it's 4 a.m. or?
Well,
because Chabad we go to like the ritual bathhouse after.
Yes. And we do that basically it's called the Leis Shachar. We're getting really technical Judaism here.
No, it's good. There's so many Jews that watch us now.
We're real rabbis, bro. We're real rabbis.
We're legit. Yeah, we just don't know why we eat milk on Shavous. But, we're rabbis, yeah.
You know why we don't know that? Because we never really had, because we hate milk. It messes our stomachs up.
Yeah, no, our family, it's not good. Yeah, milk is just not. Bro, this is so unrelated. We'll get back to this in a second, but there's this ice cream place that it's important.
Wait, is the one you talked about last week?
Yes, there's this ice cream place. It's like down here. It's like 10 minutes away. We were talking about. Did I mention this on the podcast?
Yes, we talked about it for like an hour about how much you loved it and it changed your life.
Shit. Oh, damn it. Did I actually? Well,
yes.
I'll tell you why. Because I went back. I went back to the ice cream place. For those that didn't watch that episode, we found this ice cream place that was too good to be true. That you taste it and you're like, I don't know if this is kosher. Like that's how amazing this is, even though it says it was kosher. So I went back to like clarify some stuff, and there was a sign on it that said kosher. Chalav Yisrael. The milk was, it was checked by a Jew or whatever. And I went with like all my friends, and like we all freaking loved it. It was amazing, and we were all like, we were wondering like, is it kosher? Then like a few more Jews walked into the store, so there was like Jew confirmation where we were both staring at each other. We were like, kosher. We didn't say anything, but we were both thinking it. And that there's another guy who looked more religious than us. He was more Hasidic, and he was asking, is it kosher or something? And I'm like, it says it's kosher. And he's like, And then he walks out of the store. So you see,
really?
There's like, yeah, he left. So there's
usually they say, all right. And they like.
No, so I'm saying there's two types.
They ask two questions. Is it kosher and is it good? Because if it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, is it kosher? I think so. Like, is it good? It's like, yeah, it's good. It's like, all right, I guess. If
you're smart, you ask, is it good first? And then, you ask the questions later. Whenever there's a thing in Judaism and you're like, it's a classic, like, you do when you're younger, or totally not when you're older, is ask questions later. Are you allowed to do this? Like, do the thing and then ask if you're if it's allowed. But it was amazing. Once again, I tried even more flavors and diabetes.
Wow.
It's great. Yeah.
Getting back to my technical Judaism before I
continue. Very interesting.
Rudely interrupted. We stay up to 4 a.m. because it's called the Leis Shachar, which is basically it's dawn.
It's when the sun barely peaks.
Yeah, you see the rays of the sun.
You see the rays of the sun, right? You see the light, not the sun at all.
It's dawn. I mean, that's what it is. We stay up to dawn, which is technically morning. Basically, we're supposed to stay up all night, so it's technically morning when you can start seeing the rays of the sun. So then we go to ritual bathhouse, spiritual stuff, and then we go to sleep, get woken up like 4 hours later. Time to get up for the real stuff because we have to hear the 10 Commandments, and you're exhausted. I honestly,
they read the Ten Commandments like during the holiday, and you like have to read it. First off, I don't have to do anything. That's
Oh,
something.
yeah?
Yeah, no, I don't have to do anything. That's
Oh, I
something
thought you were born into this, buddy.
I'll listen. I'm gonna go. I'll listen to Ten Commandments. But it's always been this thing, specifically with the Ten Commandments, that like you have to go and listen to it. You know, other basic Judaism, you know, we throw to the side. But specifically that once a year, or however many times a year.
You get so mad about that. You should like, why do you only bother me about certain things? Like you should bother me about everything.
Yes. It's not just it's like this everywhere, like in all the families. There's selective Judaism, and it bothers me. It's like I made this whole thing that certain people will literally not do anything religious. Or they'll be like half religious, or they'll have their random things like they'll spontaneously like not eat kosher for like a few weeks, but when they wash their hands before eating bread, like they're not speaking, because you're not supposed to speak after you wash your hands for bread until you make the blessing on the bread. So like that's something that I've noticed specifically. Like people will like, you know, they don't follow certain standards, or like don't keep kosher. They don't follow the Sabbath. But for some reason, every Jew, when it comes to washing the hands, no matter how religious they are, they're always quiet before they eat the bread. Always.
They were, because it's respectful. And you know what? Maybe that's what they want to do, and that's their connection. So instead of hating on it, you can be like, wow.
No, I am hating.
Respectful.
No. Screw respect.
Person.
We tried respect. Respect doesn't get you anywhere. I'm hating now. I'm hateful today.
First of all, I used to have this argument when we were in high school, and we were very judgmental. Because when you're in high school, you're like, I'm better than you. And like,
no, I've evolved from that. I'm not that, you know.
But when I was in high school, we're like, it's like, I'm more religious than you. Like, I'm like, that's like the basic. That's like the Jewish like high school. Like, if you're in a really religious school,
that's
it's
not
like,
what I'm doing.
It's very much like, oh, you don't do that. Like, oh, like you don't do these prayers, or you don't learn this extra thing. Like, who are you? Like, I do those extra things. It's very like elitist.
Yeah.
But then I got into this whole thing where it's like some guys were the opposite. They do everything extra. There's something called, wow, we're really going into it. There's something called chitas, which is you basically say a portion of the Bible, you say a portion of Jewish philosophy. It's called Tanya, and you say Tehillim, which is Psalms. So you say a portion. You say a portion of each book each day.
Yeah.
You have guys, so it's a custom that only like
it's in the Chabad. It's in the
Chabad
movement.
Chabad, that's what we do. It's a custom that we should say it. So you have guys who they will say it every day. Yep. But then like they'll get up at like 10, 11 to pray. They'll like barely say the words.
Yes.
Like they won't they won't do it. They'll barely do anything else. But it's like on one hand, you respect it. I respect it. There's a commitment. I respect the commitment. But it's like, well, then why don't you just like do all the I call it basic religion. Like you don't do any of the basic religion, but it's like this you'll do, but like you won't do anything else. Like okay, like okay.
And guess
but
what?
Also,
there are people that aren't praying and that aren't doing chitas, but you know what they're doing? They're freaking remaining silent after they wash. That's what they're doing. For some weird reason, that specific thing, everyone follows. Doesn't matter if they're no longer religious, if they were religious.
Or they'll only eat like chalav yisrael bread, chalav yisrael milk, and pas yisrael bread, which is a higher standard. Yeah. Like they'll only have those things.
Oh, I forgot about
bread. Maybe they'll have milk and meat together, but when they have it, to make sure it's kosher.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, majority of people they won't eat bacon or pig or anything. You know, like they'll like that's like it's like an additional line for them.
I was wondering. I never really asked those people because a lot of times they're embarrassed to talk about it. You know, the guys who left Judaism, they don't like to talk about it so much.
Oh no, I know a few people. I remember asking some people who ate like McDonald's, you know, which isn't kosher. I was like. I asked him, so like I heard the McDonald's fries. Listen, the McDonald's fries, they're like famous for just being amazing, I think. Or this fries specifically. I want to try those fries, and they can make them kosher, and they don't. Regardless, I asked my friend, I was like, is it even all that? Like, are they hyping it up? And then he's like, yeah, man, it's actually freaking amazing. And I'm like, damn, yeah, that sucks. You know?
When we were kids,
oh no, you know, do this. But no, they're amazing, he said.
Well, when we were kids, we had teachers who weren't Jewish, and we would, once in a while, we'd bother them and be like, tell us what it's like. Tell us what like non-kosher meat tastes like. And they're like, I'm not telling you. Like, tell us what it's like. They're like, I'm not telling you. To get all mad because they're trying to be respectful. But we'd be like, just tell us what it tastes like. It's like, it tastes like your meat. It's just a different standard. It's just not kosher.
They don't even understand like what it's like to not eat it though. So like I don't
Exactly.
really know how. Like they can't really describe anything.
I've had people ask, like, do you want to eat it? Like, like, do you have a desire to eat not kosher? And I'm never like that. I think you've answered it in one of your videos. You said, no, I don't. Because I don't, I've never had it. I don't necessarily care. Like, there's certain things, like, I would like to try something that looks cool, but, like, there's usually a kosher version of most things. Okay, you'll never have shrimp. You'll never have lobster. Okay, like, you don't even know what it tastes like to care. That's kind of how I am, like
You watched my video?
it was a while ago.
You watched my video and you listened to what I said.
I think you said the same thing. You said, like, listen, if you go outside a non-kosher donut shop and it smells so great, it smells like amazing. It's like, okay, like I could go get a kosher donut.
Yeah, you could find good kosher food, but you have to be in a Jewish area, right? Where you freaking are, there's nothing. They're adding things bit by bit. They're slowly adding things, but down here, man, ice creams. Oh my God, man! Like. I could go there every day if I wanted and just get amazing ice. I know I'm still on this ice cream, but you just don't understand. You just don't get it because you're down. You're up there. I have to say up there now for Ohio because
Oh yeah, you're down south.
I'm down south. That's where I am. But I've never really craved not kosher things too much. Also, apparently the Sprite at McDonald's is also like people say it's almost like spicy.
I watched the whole video on it. Apparently it's BS.
What do you mean it's BS?
I watched the whole video on it. The guy does the whole video on it.
He did not watch a McDonald's Sprite video about why McDonald's Sprite tastes better.
It's Food Theory. That guy, Food Theory.
Oh, Matt Pat. No way.
Yeah, no, he does
Food Theory on his Sprite.
Apparently there's no difference. He did a lot of research. Apparently there's no difference. It's just the straw they use and the water combination maybe.
Yeah. The ingredients are the same. It's the proportion.
Okay, but you can make that.
I don't know. No, I can't. I can't make it. Why? Because I'm not McDonald's, and it wouldn't be called McDonald's Sprite. It'd be called Tzvi Sprite. You want some Tzvi Sprite? Yeah. You want?
No.
No. You don't want my Sprite. There was this. Do you remember those Soda Streams? Those.
Yeah.
I mean, majority of people probably know what it is. It's like those bottles, and you could caffeinate it with what's the chemical? CO2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing.
Carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide, not monoxide.
You're gonna say monoxide, and that's
I actually have a story with that I want to say in a second. But yeah, carbon dioxide. Isn't that a Pokemon? Whatever. So they put the Pokemon inside the water, and you carbon. I'm explaining basically. Yeah, you get it. Freaking, it's those machines and they're amazing. And I remember we tried to make like our own like sodas and Sprites. They had the chemicals and everything, and it just didn't hit the same. I don't know why. Maybe it's like the Red 40. Maybe it's like the water is like tap water or like fridge water. It's just like not the same water.
No, I think Coke is extremely picky about their water. Apparently.
Yeah. Is it like a water distributor?
Yeah, I think so. Oh. But what were you gonna say about monoxide?
Carbon monoxide. Did I say on here what happened regarding carbon monoxide a few weeks ago?
Maybe. What? No.
No. So I was having a meal with one of my friends. Actually, this is actually very interesting. I won't say his name, but we didn't have a meal for Friday night, right? Friday night's the Sabbath, and till Saturday night, and you're supposed to have a meal Friday night after prayer services. So we Friday morning comes, you have to prepare for these things like Thursday. So you got to ask someone if you can eat over, at least by, Thursday. You could try Friday morning, but, it's usually a no-go. So I had no one to eat by. So me and my friend, it's just me and him. All the other guys that I'm nearby are out of town. And we're like, what if we had a meal together, one-on-one, not a date, not in a weird way, in a very holy, there's nowhere else to eat, and it's two guys in a meal, but it's great, So we agreed to that, and that's what I love about Florida. I drove 5 minutes, and there's this kosher place that had pre-made chicken, everything.
You actually drove?
I drove. Hell yeah, I drove.
I'm very proud of you.
Yeah, no, thanks. Yeah, I could drive.
Our parents said that when they came down, it's still their gas in the car because you haven't filled up yet.
My gas, with their money, I filled the gas.
You actually filled up gas since you got down there?
No, I made them fill it up, actually. No, I haven't. Yeah, because they visited recently, and But
You're still running one
because
thing.
everything's like 10 minutes away, man. I don't go on any highways. Like everything's it's actually I drive all the time. You just don't need it. That's the thing. So I drove like 5 minutes to this place that usually to get kosher food on Fridays is hard because the kosher store is closed before the Sabbath. But this one closed like an hour later at like 5 p.m. So literally like 4 o'clock, I zip to the store. I get all the kosher stuff overpriced like crazy. Call back to our freaking kosher meat's a scam. Pre-made kosher meat is an even bigger scam. Oh my God.
Don't even.
Oh my God, no. This grinds my gears. No, but I'm serious.
They will literally charge $40 for 3 pieces
for
of chicken.
a few pieces
Not
of
even
like
joking.
schnitzel. It's
$40. I think I bought a few weeks ago. It was like $48. I'm like, look, what are you doing, bro?
The markup is crazy. I get you need to make money, but bro, like I need to have money left over. I think it was like it's like 150 or something for just some meat and some side dish like whatever. And it's worth it though just because of zero time. Like you could buy your whole meal. So we had our meal at the place one-on-one, and we were the way the table was set up. Because I was eating at his place, not a date, just two guys.
Was there heart chocolates on the table?
Two guys that are friends, we're great friends, and we had a bunch of meat, and we're listen.
Those two guys with a bunch of meat.
With a bunch of meat, hell yeah. And we were just like figuring out we were figuring out how do we sit across from each other without it being
without touching meat.
Without, eat it, so we could eat the meat with that, so we were like across.
You hear what you're saying?
Well, I hear what I'm saying. Listen, yeah, very mature. No, listen, we're across from each other, but like, we're like, that's a little bit too much. So like, what if you sit on one end and I sit on the other end, like hot dog style of the table?
Why are you doing that?
But that's a little bit too far, and then you can't really get all the meat because it's all in the middle of the table. So then we're like, okay, I'm going to sit. Right, it's a rectangle table. I'm gonna sit, on one side, like one inside the table on one side, and you'll sit on the other side. Sorry for audio listeners, but it's sort of like this, We're like across, but I'm towards the left, he's towards the right, or we're both towards the right, So we're across each other, but as far away, and all the meat's in the middle. And listen, it was actually a very nice meal, and it was amazing. However, during the meal, the carbon monoxide alarm went off.
Really?
All this preface. Don't you love that preface? Wow, amazing storytelling. During the meal, the carbon monoxide in his apartment goes off. And I'm like, yo, because I never heard a carbon monoxide alarm go off. So we don't know if it's the battery. There's two things. Either it's a battery or there's carbon monoxide and we're about to die. Right? So I'm like, we should probably get out of here or something. Like, I don't know. And it won't stop beeping. He tries, taking a broom because it's on the Sabbath and you're not allowed to, use electricity. So, but at a certain point, I think he tried to take a broom and like whatever. It wouldn't come out though. I think it was wired into the wall. It's like one of those. It's not battery powered. So, and it was beeping loud. Like every 30 seconds, it was loud. And we didn't know. We literally had zero clue what to do. And we also didn't know if we were allowed to be in the apartments because, carbon monoxide.
Laughed right away.
Huh? Well, I mean, after a few minutes, I was like, well, we're not dead, right? So, maybe it's a battery, but we don't know. So I'm going to leave the apartment now. And, but the thing's still beeping. So we don't know who to go to for this because it's nighttime. It's the weekend. There's no one helping in the apartment building, right? There's no one there. There's no one, right? They're all freaking, they're on break now. It's the weekend. There's this one random security guard. He's the authority we got. Because we don't know what to do, right? So we go to the lobby and we're like to the security guard. You need to fix our carbon monoxide alarm. This random security dude. It's like 12 o'clock, at night, and he barely speaks English, and he's like, I work here. I don't know. I was told to sit here for a couple hours. Like he's saying that in broken English. And we're like, no, you have to fix because there's no service. Like, I don't know who else to ask. It's freaking beeping like crazy. He's like, oh, I can't do that. And then me and my friend look at each other like, do we call the police? Because you're not allowed to use your phone on Shabbos. So like, what do we do? Do we call the police? Do we not? Do we tell the guy to call the police? Because listen, either it's a battery or there's freaking carbon monoxide in our room. So, and of course it happens on Shabbos, right? It doesn't happen. It never happens during the week. All the bad stuff always happens on Shabbos. So we're like to the security guard. We convince him to freaking call the police, and he does. He calls the police, and my friend's talking to him, like talking to the police through the phone, because we're not supposed to call, so we used someone. We used him to do it for us, even though it was probably lots of questions. But it like we couldn't like take it off the wall and like cover up in blankets. Also, it could have been freaking carbon monoxide. So they call the police, and we wait in front of the lobby. We're like, okay, what's the we're gonna wait for them to come. It's like 10 minutes and no one's arrived. The police and it's the middle of the night. It's not busy streets. What's going on? We're like, oh shoot, they might be in the other entrance of the building. So we go to the other entrance, and there's this big ass fire truck. Full-on fire truck on a Friday night. This is supposed to be a romantic meal that I'm having with my friends, with our meat, and it ended up, there's a fire truck there. We don't see anyone inside the truck, though. So we're like, did they go in the building? So we walk up all the way up we're like the top floor. So like a bunch of flights of stairs because we can't use the elevator to the very top floor. We go back into his apartment and we see the alarm. It's like no longer beeping, and it's like, no, it is beeping, but it's like out of the wall, and there's like wires hanging out of it. So they went in our apartment somehow. We didn't see them though, because they knew where to go.
Did you tell them Did you tell them the apartment number?
We told them the number and everything, but like we weren't even there because we were down in the lobby when we were calling. So we were like, so he's like, okay, I'm gonna stay here, and you're gonna go downstairs and check to, so that in case they either come back to the apartment or if they go back to the fire truck, that one of us is there. And then I go down to the fire truck, and there's like 3 guys there. And I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? Because I didn't call. Like, this isn't my apartment, but I have to answer it for him.
Oh, I got it.
And he's like, yeah, it's like a battery thing. And I'm like, oh, well, thank you so much for coming by. It was very, and like I shook all their hands. I had to use my grown-up voice. Like, oh, thank you. Thank you for coming. Anyways, at least it was just that. It could, and it wasn't anything worse. And they're like, yeah, shook some hands, and then they drove off. And
you ripped them from their families because a lot of them are volunteer. They don't necessarily stay in the thing. So you actually got them out of their bed. A lot of the fire departments are volunteer. They come from their homes.
Yes.
So you woke them up in the middle of the night just to change your battery.
Yeah, one of the guys looked like young, actually. Looked around my age. And, so just shook some hands. They gave me, a PR voice. Yeah, I'm like, okay, very nice. They drove off. I go back all the flights of stairs. My friend's just sitting there. I had to be like the adult of that situation. And then like, I think the thing was still beeping though. He's like, yeah, you'll have to get maintenance or something, but it's the weekend. The maintenance isn't coming till Monday. So he just wraps it up in like at that point it's off the wall. We're able to wrap it up, put it in a different room. And I think the battery died eventually. We didn't hear it, but that was my romantic meal and carbon monoxide story.
That was actually funny. You didn't tell me the story.
I forgot to tell a very long story. I thought it was interesting. I mean, it was definitely something. Yeah, it happened like a few weeks ago. Yeah, I remember like our mother called me and we're like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, oh, I forgot to tell you, like we had to call the police on Shavous, and the fire truck came to change our carbon monoxide thing. And very amazing story.
In our house, I don't know if you were living there. I'm not sure if you were in high school, but one night, it was like 1 a.m., maybe it was even later, and we have carbon monoxide detectors like upstairs and downstairs, and all of a sudden they all beep at the same time. And I was like,
I don't remember this.
Yeah, I'm like, what? And like low-key freaky. And then, but luckily our father was up, and we both like walked into the hallway at the same time, right? And we looked at each other. And we're like...
The dad signal, went out.
Yeah, we're like, are we good? Anyways, it turns out we took the one from my room, took the one who was actually in the basement, and we're like, they're both beeping at the same time. We looked at the back, it said, battery dies in 3 years. And it's been exactly 3 years, and they both died at the exact same time.
That's crazy.
It was crazy.
Both at the same time.
Just that.
I remember when I was younger, Ma gave me an extra 15 minutes for bedtime. I was like, hell yeah. And, you know, Smart Svi decided to use that moment to edge 911 and hang up last second.
I remember this.
Do you remember this?
Yeah. Because I freaked you out.
And I kept on, every time I would do it, I'd go a little bit longer because I'd go 911, call, hang up. And then the third time, I just hear a beep, you know, and then I'm like, oh no, you know, I'm freaking out. You know, I thought they were gonna come and like arrest me, you know, arrest the, you know, the.
No, but they came to the door. They said, "Hey, we got a call," and then me and our brother were like, "Yo, Tzvi, you're going to jail," and you start crying.
Hell yeah,
I was crying. You ran upstairs. You're like, "They're coming up for you, buddy. Like you can't hide. You're going to jail, man. You can't just call 911 like that."
Listen, I was 7, and that you were so like, it sounded so dead ass. I was like, it's over. Like I'm going to jail. Like this is it. This is how it ends. I was like, damn.
I think brother trauma is like, see, like some would argue that's bad. Some would argue that it's good.
It was a learning experience, you know. Now I know how to call 911. Except in my dreams. For some reason, whenever I call 911 in my dreams, my finger always slips to the wrong number.
No, or you hit too many. Or you hit too many, and then eventually it does call you, but you can't tell them where you are.
I called, and it just kept on ringing. They didn't answer. I was like, damn. Like, you got to be really lonely for, like, the police to not answer you, you know? But do you have anything else you want to go through, or should I go through these?
Oh, yeah. I totally forgot about the Discord. I mean, I did. Honestly, I had some other stuff, but, you know, we'll save it for next week.
How long have we been going for? Like around 40. Do you have, like, one quick thing, or you'll save it for next week?
Nah, it's a longer thing.
Okay, fine. Yeah, so actually, I tagged my Discord. For those that aren't on my Discord server, make sure to join the top link in the description, where you guys could ask your questions and your stuff to get on our show, because we're cool and we know stuff.
Why do I have paneling on my walls?
Yeah, so yeah, like that. So I tagged my Discord. I was like, I'm with my brother doing a podcast, ask some questions. So this guy said, oh, this is a great question. What made you guys decide to do this podcast? Okay, you first. Huh?
That was very high pitched. Sorry.
No, it's fine. No.
I'll put my adult voice on for this one.
Okay, no, go.
Oh, guys, people in law school, like, they'd be like, they talk like, hi, like, very high, and then, like, you ask them a question, or they're like, hey, so the answer would be, like, I'm like, bro, like, what the heck?
That's not the answer to the question.
Oh, sorry, I got distracted.
Yeah. Why did we want to do this yet? Actually,
because
I know why.
There's a few reasons.
I want to hear yours first.
Because one is like, bro, we should start a podcast.
Ew.
Like, bro, we should start a podcast. And also, well, the reason I think is what you're going to say is that this is what people are doing. This is how entertainment's going to be in the future. If you stick with it, you could grow a community and you could get bigger, and it could be a long-term thing that you could do. I don't know, it's just good to do.
So you don't want to do a podcast. You just money.
No, well, we always discuss, like, we always talk a lot, and people say you guys are we have good chemistry together when we talk, that it'd be interesting to do one. So that was the reason we started it. Plus, you want to have a bigger brand or something.
Hey, listen here, man. I wanted to start this mainly because I was like, yeah, you know, we riff back and forth. It could probably be good in a podcast setting. Also, like, everyone's got a podcast, and also long term, you pretty much got it in the grand scheme of things. You know, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, like, it's all great, but podcasts are what last in the long run. Also, it has the best communities of engagement with the people and the audience. Also,
plus AI can mimic my voice now.
Yes. Also, it's where it's like the most authentic you could probably be online is on a podcast. So that's mainly why I like doing it.
And then if you say something bad, you could spend the next episode telling everyone that they're sorry and what they meant by it. So it's
also because I love my brother so much, and
we finally can hang out again.
Yeah. By the way, I realized, like, if we didn't have the podcast, when I moved away, like, we probably wouldn't, you know, like, how often would we? I mean, we speak all the time. Yeah, for sure. You know, and that's great. You know, chemistry. This is actually kind of interesting. This is actually related to the podcast. If you didn't have to follow the kosher diet, what food would you want to
Well, that's
eat?
literally what we were talking about.
I'm saying. So, is there like one that stands out to you? For me, it's the McDonald's fries. Technically, even though it could technically be kosher, probably or
I
not.
I I thought about it. First, it'd be like, yeah, like I want like a burger or something. But the truth is, like, I can have a good hamburger. So what do I really want? I don't know. Huh.
Bacon. There's something that's like you can't make a kosher version of properly.
They actually could make kosher, but they have bacon.
A
Apparently, it's pretty
proper,
criminal.
a proper.
I don't know. I like whenever they had those Longhorn Steakhouse like steaks, those huge steaks. I want to have. I mean, like I would want to have Wagyu beef or Wagyu steak, but I think you get kosher version. It's just $1 million. It's
Uh-huh.
like very expensive. But like, do I want to try shrimp? Like, sure. Like, I honestly have no. Someone has to give me a dish and
Maybe
be like,
lobster.
maybe lobster. But again, I don't have like desire for it.
Yeah,
You know,
not
like,
really.
like I want a Krispy Kreme donut. Like I want brands of stuff. I want
Yeah.
brands of like non-kosher brands that they make special food, which is really good. Not necessarily like a food. Like I
Maybe
want
a
to try different brands.
McFlurry.
Like, do I want to try like oyster or something? Like I don't know. Like
Nah, it's not.
not really. I don't care for fish. Like
This guy, this guy says best and worst Jewish holiday. Okay, this is probably okay. So the best. No, I'll go first. My favorite is probably.
hmm.
It's always tied between Hanukkah and Purim. I'd say Purim because it's the quickest and it's just a lot of fun, a lot of partying, and it's so holy and the story is so inspirational. The worst, I would hate to say the Day of Judgment, Yom Kippur, because
I know the worst.
because you just gotta
I know
fast
that.
for 25 hours and pray the whole time. It's whatever is the least physically demanding. Like that's like that's the best one.
For me, the best one. It depends on the stages of my life, honestly. When I was younger, Purim was the best because you party, and Hanukkah was the best. But then, as I got older, like Hanukkah ended up becoming like running all this stuff. So then I hated it because I had to run everything. And then
Programs, yeah.
I honestly love I always loved Passover. I really always did. I mean, now it's harder because I got family and stuff. Like I have to actually like make the food and stuff. But I like Passover. Honestly, everyone comes home. I really like it. Worst one, honestly, Sukkot, because you have to eat in the hut.
Right.
It's so hard.
That's a good
It's
one.
harder than Passover. Passover, we can't have bread and stuff. But fine, you could like have other stuff. You could just don't have bread.
Eat it wherever,
But for Sukkot, we basically have to eat in a hut outside, like a makeshift hut that we make. And we have a higher standard. We only eat there. Anything, even water.
Everything. Food, water, everything. And
So if you want to drink at 1 a.m., you got to run outside in the freezing cold, even if it's raining.
Yep.
Even if it's raining.
We're crazy.
You're like,
Because we're crazy.
we're crazy.
Who made this up? I mean, ancient, respectful religion. Is great, although the rain, like come on. But
For the record, other sects of Judaism don't eat in the
Do
rain,
not
and they
eat in the
also they only
they
eat
don't drink.
meals.
They'll
They only, like,
drink.
meals.
Just
Yeah.
the meals, the main meals.
No, I'm just making it simple. They only eat like things that have wheat in it, but you can have fruit, vegetables,
Right.
and like water outside. So
Damn.
we're crazy.
Jews love making
And-
things harder when it's already hard, Who are this is more specific. Who are y'all's favorite Cincinnati Bengals players growing up? Obviously, we're massive Bengals fans.
Let's see if we
Football.
say it at the same time.
Our favorite?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, is it gonna? Are we? There's audio delay though. Where will it work?
We'll try it.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. AJ Green.
What?
say?
Ocho Cinco.
Oh, I was too young.
That was lame.
I was
That was
too
lame.
young. Growing up, it says I was freaking 4. Couldn't watch.
Well, that's
AJ
fine. You're right. That's true.
I was a kid, man.
Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco.
Wide
he was so
receiver
entertaining.
for the Bengals, and so was
Wide
AJ
receiver for the
Green.
Bengals. AJ Green.
And,
I liked AJ Green, but he got injured. And I was older and I cared too much. Like when I got older and I cared too much. So like it bothered. Like the Bengals pissed me off because
Yeah.
they sucked.
It was a
But when I was a
bad-
kid, I just saw like Ocho Cinco like bawling, proposing to cheerleaders, dancing. Like he was which you weren't allowed to do back then, and we
Yeah,
just loved
get
it. We loved it
fined.
as fans.
But AJ Green, by the way, is the most underrated receiver in that he had like 7 straight seasons or 5 of over 1,000 yards
Yeah,
a
no,
season.
he was amazing. It's just we sucked, so it was
We
annoying.
sucked. We held him back. If he was on any other team, he'd be like Hall of Famer. Like literally.
We, as in like, we're part of the team.
Yeah, we're part of the team. Listen, we'll get sponsored, and then the Bengals will take us out to
The
the
Bengals
freaking.
podcast, they have like 5K subscribers. They get like 10Ks. How much do they get views?
I
No,
don't
they probably
know.
get 1,000 or 2,000, and they get. I mean, I think it's just because part of the company.
They're
but
literally in the brand. Like we're just
they're
some
getting
dudes.
they're getting like Yahoo Finance sponsors. I'm like, bro.
Yahoo Finance. You really want to get sponsored by Yahoo Finance?
Well, they get like I'm saying
Maybe.
they get like these huge corporation finance, like these huge corporations.
Because they're with the Bengals. It's not even. It's not
Is
fair.
it? Are they? Are they
They're
officially?
not
I wasn't
with,
sure.
but like their whole brand is pretty much Bengals, so it's easy to get connections with that. Stop!
That's
No, you're
why-
not searching right now.
I am
What are you
right
doing?
now. Okay,
Okay.
read the next question while I search this.
Okay, fine. But on that topic, like we could probably get tickets eventually. You know, if we grow our brand and say we're Bengals fans. You know, tickets are way too expensive. All right. Okay, this is such a long. What the hell is this? Thoughts on what the French are doing in the Seine River? The Seine River? It's the name of a river. Basically, France is hosting the Summer Olympics. And the French president wants to clean up that river and swim in it to show the world how clean France is. And
I've never heard of that.
listen, and the French, since they hate their leader, are now they're pooping in the river. Listen, they're pooping in the river to make it as dirty as possible so that he swims in crap.
Wait, first of all, the Locked On Bengals podcast, they have 21,000 subscribers and they get like 5 to 10K views
Okay.
per podcast. Which is
Why,
okay.
why are you pocket watching?
I am, because I was curious because I'm like, how many people actually watch it? They have all these big sponsors, which I guess they do actually have a good...
Podcasts get sponsored, except us. For so no. Hey, give
Wait,
us some time. We're gonna get bought out.
So this French... People are pooping in the French River?
They're pooping in the French River so that because the president's gonna swim in it, and they don't like their president, and they don't want it
All
to
I'm
be
going
clean.
to say is that everyone knows what a French shower is. Well, at least in high school, we used to call the French shower, right? It's just like a bunch of perfume.
Yeah, specifically the Jewish community. Maybe that's not all the French. They would just they would just coat themselves in deodorant, Axe body spray, like that. That was the shtick.
I'm such a hate. They're actually pretty clean. The French people in our schools. Honestly, they're low key pretty clean. But I don't know. It's just a joke.
This,
I don't know why it was a running joke.
I don't know. This guy asked
But
what's
I'm
y'all's.
glad that
Huh?
the French are. I don't know what they're.
I love the
don't know,
French.
man.
French are welcome on our
No,
podcast.
I just feel like they care about like. Why do you care if your river is clean? Like, bruh.
I don't know. This guy asked, "What's y'all's favorite cheese?" I never thought about that. You probably have. Yeah, you're such a cheese. Yeah, you for sure thought about your favorite cheese. Yeah, what?
Well, I like Munster cheese.
Okay,
That's
you
my
made
new
that up.
favorite.
I like mozzarella. I don't freaking. You have Munster. What are you talking
I like
about?
cheese sticks.
Okay. We got a couple more. Question for Yitz. Oh wow, you hear this? For you, hell yeah. Who is your dream client as a lawyer?
Whoa, who's writing this? Like, is it like my mom?
I don't know. Who's your dream client?
Well, we do very specific. I do very specific stuff.
Still. You work with the older people, so name an old person, you know.
I don't want to say anything too cliche.
Just say it. What? It's a question. Answer the question.
I don't really. A dream client would be somebody who has a lot of money.
Oh my god. This joke.
No.
What the hell?
It's always, who's looking to figure out a way to transfer it to the next generation. That'd be the best way to do it.
Why can you say like Larry David or something? You know,
Oh,
he's
you want a person?
Yeah. Yes, he's talking about a person, not your freaking money fantasies. What the? This is not a good look, man. Oh god.
But
Yes, a person.
somebody's gonna pay a lot of money. That's obviously who you want as a client.
Name a
but I don't
damn
know, it's
person.
A person.
This is
Warren
your dream
Buffett.
clients. Okay, maybe listen. It could be taken in both ways. I saw it as like any person in history, alive or dead. So
Ooh, that's a good question.
Don't overthink it, please. Just
What if you were like the mustache man's lawyer?
You proceeded to overthink it. Mustache man's lawyer.
Like you have to represent him because but you're the lawyer. Be like, because obviously he's a Jewish lawyer because
he need a Jewish lawyer, to defend himself from that.
And then they'd be like, have to argue like no, like because you have to argue the best case. Mm-hmm. They had all these criminal courts. I wonder who the lawyers were on those sides. Okay, that sounds bad.
Can you please name who you want? We're taking too long.
Well, I don't know. I don't have a person who I want. A dream client is a weird question because there's no like
you're literally you're proving every stereotype right now of not answering questions and just like, well, technically speaking, if I would want him, but and then I give you an offer and you're like, yeah, well, but technically, just say a person, please.
I said Warren Buffett.
Oh, Warren Buffett.
Yeah, I said before because he's old. He needs to transfer his money, and
there you go.
That's a great answer. He seems like he's very reasonable and a smart guy, which is you want someone easy to work with.
Amazing. That was the questions. Make sure to join the Discord. Appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure to download on Spotify. Watch all the other episodes. And literally smash like, subscribe. Goodbye.